Mr. Coates, you have been described as a coalition builder. From the American citizen's perspective, is it better to build coalitions, which may include voting for bills you normally would not support, or to place your vote based on principle?
Always place your vote based on principle. If you can build a coalition, around your principles, then you should, because otherwise you're never going to get anything passed. Can you all hear me okay? I'm not sure this is working. Okay. I'm not sure about Marlon's last answer, because voting for something that has something you're against, I can't quite figure that out. When George Bush 41 came out of Andrews Air Force Base in a deal with the Democrats, exactly the same thing was said. Well, yes, there's a tax increase, despite the fact that he said, read my lips, no new taxes, but there's also a tax cut. Well, I don't think that's a good deal. I was one of the few Republicans that said stand on principle. I caught holy you-know-what from the White House for the vote that I cast against that, because this was we're all in this together type thing. There are just times when if your principles are not raise taxes, you don't follow a bill and say, well, okay, if it lowers taxes on somebody but raises somebody else, then it's okay. I was remiss in not saying, and I wish I'd had more time, but not saying, first of all, my son-in-law escaped. Leave you thinking what happened. His Army Ranger training saved him. Several people in his office were killed. Didn't know what to do. He did know how to deal with that type of situation, and 4 hours later we learned gratefully that he had survived that. He's now a lieutenant colonel in the Army and father of our three grandsons. So we're proud of his service to the country. And secondly, I wanted to say, I stand here by the grace of God and by the grace of my wife, Marcia, who's here today. Following me into the Army, holding down the home while I was working during the day and going to school at night and raising our children. Following me to Washington when I was elected. She never wanted to leave Indiana and go to Washington, but our state sent us there, and we kept our family intact. 3 wonderful children as a result of that. I was in Germany, dragged overseas. I was a beneficiary of a woman smarter than me and would have been a better candidate than me, who sacrificed a lot to allow me to do this, and I wanted to say that. And thank you for the opportunity.
I said before, where are the women candidates at? You guys are getting old to me here. Marlon, I'll give you 15 seconds if you want to clarify that vote.
I would. You know, that was a bill that was supported by the NFIB, which is a small business group. It was supported by the builders. It was supported by all of the small business groups. The chamber, which is the one that can afford the big Indiana chamber and the Manufacturers Association, they're the ones that can afford the big-time lobbyists. And they were the ones that were in there fighting for the equalization of everybody, because they were tired, or the big companies were trying to force small businesses to be equal with everybody. And I think it's just like you and I with insurance. If you have a lot of claims, your premium goes up. If you don't have as many claims, it goes down. Just like my 2 boys, if I give them a phone, both of them a phone, and I say, yeah, you each have a $10 allowance, well, one of them uses $20 and the other uses $5, but I keep paying $10, you know, sooner or later, there's something not right about that, because the one is subsidizing the other. So that's what we did. We changed the system. You know, it's a 40,000, there's 40,000 businesses that got a tax cut. The big companies that can afford all the big-time lobbyists that can put all the pressure on legislators were the ones that were pushing the bill so hard and casting out all of this language.
Good thing you guys don't make clocks, so you don't be wild black. Okay, let's move on to defense and foreign policy. And speaking of defense, 2 cleared, 1 more to go on those Navy SEALs. How about it? Yay! Poor Widow Terrorist got a fat whip. I should, you know, forget Gizmo. Put those terrorists in the Chicago jail. See how many fat. Okay, Mr. Boehne, you said in other debates nothing should be off the table regarding spending cuts. Would you propose cuts to defense spending? If so, specifically what defense cuts would you like to see? Just a couple minutes on that.
2 minutes. Oh, thank
We'll
you.
give you 2 minutes,
All
5
right.
seconds.
Thank
See, I
you.
started at the beginning.
I did, didn't I? All right, thank you. No, I will not support any kind of defense spending cuts. In fact, I think we should spend more on defense and more on the families. As a businessman, I believe that we should go in and look at what is being spent within the military. There can always be smarter spending done. Talking about the daily operation of the military. I have seen the $100 toilet seats. I'm talking about that level of things. So that's just smart business. It's a smart thing to do. But I propose that even spending more in the military, I believe in carrying an awfully big ICBM and walking softly. That's where I stand. I believe our military families should be taken care of. If anyone deserves Cadillac care, it's our military families. Period. So I would fight and be a vigorous voice on those issues. I'd also take my business mind in there, and we would spend more wisely.